Hi, welcome to Embodied Art Studio. My name's Shannon and I was thinking of what tips I could share with you today. And one of the tools that I use a lot when I'm painting, a lot nowadays too, is drawing on my canvas. And sometimes you just need to draw. Never have to, right? If you're not in a drawing, it's not your thing. You don't ever have to draw when you paint, but sometimes you want to, and sometimes you have to. If you're gonna paint a rose, for example, especially if it's really complicated, you might have to draw it. So knowing what tools to use can be super beneficial to knowing where to begin and knowing how those tools are going to affect your paint when you paint on top of it. So those are the secrets I'm going to share with you today. I'm working on a abstract owl, and what I want is lots of lines and shapes. So I'm not just going to freeform these lines, I'm going to draw them first. So some options we have: white charcoal or white pastel, soft vine charcoal. This is soft vine charcoal. Watered down yellow paint. So just adding a little bit of water, half water, half paint into your yellow. And then I have what I think most people would gravitate towards at first, pencil, and I got my handy dandy eraser. So what I'm going to go through today is the benefits of using all four of these different drawing utensils and maybe some disadvantages of using all four of them as well, so you can pick and choose which one is right for your painting that you're drawing on. Let's get to it. Okay, so my plan is to bring some more fun patterns into my owl painting here, my abstract owl painting. I wanted to finish off the eye on the other side. So if anything's really dark, right, I probably wouldn't use my black vine charcoal, and I probably wouldn't use my pencil. I would maybe either use my yellow paint or my white charcoal or white pastel. You can use one or the other because I'm just not going to be able to see it. So don't use anything that isn't going to show up on a dark surface. So I always go for white, or I can go for my yellow paint as well. So I'm going to show you both in case you want to see both of them and benefits of both of them. So this one I feel like the benefit of is, I'm going around the outside edge here because that's what I went for on the other side, but the benefit of using my white charcoal, my white pastel, is that you can just see it really, really well. Right, so I feel really confident. I can actually kind of already tell, this is where I'm going to put white paint too, so wow, it kind of just really aids me, and I can already tell what it's going to look like. So you can tell I'm already kind of fixing the eye a little bit up here, and what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to erase this little bit here. So I can either, I kind of like to maybe kind of smear it a little bit first, brush it off to just kind of loosen up any of that loose charcoal or pastel on there, and then I actually just take an eraser to it softly, right? You don't want to put too much pressure on your canvas, so just softly. Give it a little blow on there, and then with your finger just kind of get that excess eraser marks over there. So that's my white charcoal pastel for the eyeball. Let's try it out with my yellow paint. So the reason why I chose yellow and watered down yellow is that any color should go on top of it fairly strong. So when the color goes on top of the yellow paint, it's really opaque. All right, let's try getting, I had these cute little abstract feathers up here. So maybe I bring that up here. I just kind of outline here. So I think the benefit of this is that it will, and I'm going to show it too, any color should go over it fairly well. What is maybe a disadvantage of it is that it's kind of scary. You can't really if you're going and you don't think about it right away, you won't be able to erase it because it's paint. However, you will be able to paint over it, and however, if it's still wet, you actually can just take a wet cloth and wipe it right off. All right, let's do a little bit of vine charcoal. Vine charcoal is my personal favorite. My favorite advantage of it is that actually it's so soft and so delicate that it comes off the canvas really easily. So as long as you're like really delicate with it, you can even like take your dry brush, make sure it's dry, nice and big and coarse bristles, and you can actually just like swipe it right off. Okay, so that is really reassuring. You can even take an eraser and kind of like erase it a little bit too. Coolness, and I actually hated that shape, so I'm going to draw a upside down curved triangle inside of my diamond. I swear I took geometry. Okay, so now I have my beak. Oh, that's so much better. And I think a disadvantage to the vine charcoal too is if you get like really messy and you push too hard, it does get really dark, especially soft vine charcoal is actually the darkest of the vine charcoal, but you want to use it when you're painting because it is soft, it is really delicate and comes off really easy, and actually with the paint, it disintegrates really easy too, so that's really important, and that is why I use the soft vine charcoal for whatever, and especially if I'm top of light paint or on top of my white canvas. I use this on my white canvas all the time as well. Okay, pencil. The reason why people go to pencil and like gravitate towards it really first when they're like first painting, I think is because it has like a lot of control to it. Like you can get like a nice point on it. You can have this nice little handle to hold on to. It's something that you're familiar with. So we just like, oh, pencil, duh, drawing, duh, pencil. So having it is very controlled, but as you can see, like you can't really see it that well, A. B, it's like really waxy. So it's gonna shine through your paint and it's going to be hard to layer over, unless you're like doing something really complicated, it makes sense to you, just go really, really, really light. That way it doesn't shine through your paint, which it will probably on the first layer, couple layers, maybe you cover it. But like for me, I want to have that option of using like transparent paint wherever. So going with the pencil is not my ideal choice. I rarely do that. So we have our 4 different drawing materials here. I'm gonna do, I think like it's called a control. I'm really going back to my school days here in high school, but a control. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put triangles, I think, like at the top here just for fun, like a fun pattern, and I'm gonna do my pencil, my white charcoal, and let's use my watered down yellow paint. Ooh, that's cool. I kind of like that design. Whee! Okay, so now I'm going to trace over all of my drawing marks on my painting. Pointed brush that looks like this. Unless you really want to make things hard on yourselves, because I swear that's a thing that my students do all the time. They just grab whatever brush, don't think about it, and they're using a big brush, and they're in the moment, and they're like, oh, I'm painting, I'm in flow, and using a big brush, but really need a skinny brush. Don't make it hard on yourself. Grab a nice pointed brush. It's kind of like a pencil, right? It's going to make drawing a lot easier. Okay, there we go. Wow, you literally can't even see the white pastel charcoal underneath it. But maybe it's a little bit of a cheat because I'm using white. So just for sake of full-on experience and non-bias, let's put a little bit of yellow over these marks over here. Wow, awesome. Might go for the white, but let's see the other ones just in case. You don't want to just like, oh, my first one's awesome, I don't want to try any of the other ones. How else are we going to learn? Let's go over our paint next. Maybe just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of that yellow showing through, but can you imagine just one more layer, what's going to happen afterwards? Pretty nice. Next we have our vine charcoal. And just for the sake of control, I'm going to use a little bit of yellow and see what happens over on this side of my beak. My white went over the vine charcoal really well, but my yellow, it might take a couple other layers. All right, time for my pencil. And yellow on my other side. I'm the face behind the camera. Just wanted to tune in with you guys again, and thank you for connecting and watching our beginner acrylic painting tutorials. This week I had drawing. I hope that was helpful for you, and hopefully that was inspiring for you to just like get drawing on your canvas. Even if you are painting, eventually it might be fun to just start like drawing some whatever's on there to just get your hand moving, get some momentum. And if you are trying to do something that involves line work, I hope that you can fall in love with one of these techniques. And if you have any requests at all for learning, send them over, comment below. I want to hear your ideas so I can help you out. Subscribe, ring the bell, follow Embodied Art Studio so you can get all my future techniques to come. So thank you again, and I hope everyone has a fantastic week.